yeah. Ball in my court, high step is a layup. My life like a movie, just keep moving, it's a trailer. Chefing in my kitchen, got me trying to get my cake up. I thank God for all this coming to me, not straight up.
So Ash, we're here for another episode of He's With Us. How you been, man? Long week?
Very long, man. A lot of work. You know, commute was crazy. Coming in here, back, and you
commuted to Philly games? Did you commute to the Philly game?
Yep. Knicks fans was there. Crazy.
And then the Sixers bought up the tickets. I thought it was a smart move.
Yeah, I mean, they had no choice. There was nothing else they could do.
But not every team wouldn't do that. I don't think. You think like all 30 organizations would have done it in the same situation?
I just feel like you have to in that situation. Like if you. Like home court advantage is huge in the playoffs.
It is. Yeah, I was talking to a Sixers beat guy, like a media guy, and he was like, it felt like it's been 4 straight Knicks games, home Knicks games.
Yeah, I mean the thing about it too is like this is what it comes down to. It's an economics thing, Like Philly is a blue collar city. Knicks, I mean New York is white collar and. You got Philly fans that had season tickets that were putting on StubHub and were selling their tickets to rich Knicks people who wanted to watch the games for 5 times, sometimes 10 times what they paid for. That's just economics, bro. Like, it's not that Philly fans aren't passionate. The Philly fans is probably just, coming up off Knicks fans. You know what I mean? And if some multi-millionaire Knicks fan wants to go to a Knicks game and bring one of their Instagram baddies that they messing around with, like, and sit, right behind the bench of the
you got to pay
the Knicks, they're gonna pay that $10,000, whatever it is. So
that's light work.
That's what I mean. So it sucks that was the situation, but
What you think? Knicks in 7 for the next one? They just won this one. I think it's Knicks in 7 versus the Pacers.
Versus the Pacers.
It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be close.
Man, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't know because the Pacers they can't cover anybody. But man, the Knicks can't score like the Pacers can score. So
that's true.
I think that
they might
for the
break
Knicks to win it all.
It's definitely going to be tougher than the Sixers.
They're going to have a consistent third scorer. Like every game, they have to be able to rely on somebody. Somebody like Josh Hart's gonna. Josh Hart averages like 9 points a game. He's going to have to give you at least like 15 to 20. DiVincenzo.
He's never been a 20-point guy.
I mean, he had 2 20-point games this series,
but not average-wise.
So, but someone's going to have to average it.
DiVincenzo could probably do it.
Possibly, but even DiVincenzo had 2-3 games where he had under 10. So somebody has to consistently give you about 20 points. Somebody, like this is where Randle really could have been huge for them.
You think the Lakers should draft Bronny?
The Lakers draft Bronny. I mean, I don't even understand that question because you can't. I can't. Nobody can really say that until LeBron figures out what he's gonna do.
Oh, he'll be back.
Like I don't. I mean, I don't know. Like I don't know. No. I don't think anybody should draft Bronny. I don't know.
Even second round?
Like, I think if anyone drafts Bronny, I think it should be a team that is, like, young, rebuilding, has a ton of time to, like, develop some kid. Like, Bronny is not going to help any NBA team for probably another 2 to 3 years. That's just the reality. Even if he's a pro. Like, and that, like, if he's an actual pro. So I don't think the Lakers should draft him just because I really.
What if it helps you keep LeBron?
Then that's just corny. Then like that's ruining the kid's life. Like LeBron's fucking that kid's life up. Then like if that's what LeBron wants to stay in LA, that's just corny. You know what I mean? Like, let the kid have his own life and do his own thing. Don't have him be a trade part or like an asset for, your father to stay on a team. That's corny, bro. If I personally was LeBron's son, I would hate that shit. That's just corny. Like, let me live my own life, build my own legacy, do my own thing. I don't want to be, just this supplemental piece that a team takes just for my dad to stay on the team. That's just corny.
Why is it corny?
Because, we're talking about LeBron's son like he's not a person, like he's just an asset. He's an actual individual. Like, has anybody asked if that's what he wants? Does he want to be on the team just to keep his dad?
Let's say he wanted that. Like, he just wants to get in the NBA any way
so
possible.
I think that's corny. I just don't think anyone would want to be in that situation. Would you want to be in that situation? You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
Like that's a corny thing. Like, I don't like for LeBron, yeah, it might be great. For the Lakers, it's a gamble because they don't know what this kid is actually going to be, and they're trying to do whatever they can to keep LeBron. But, what the hell does keeping LeBron mean? Another first-round exit?
Ooh. It's often not talked about, but just having a player like LeBron brings so much value when it comes to putting butts in the seats, merchandise, just having LeBron in the building. That's why he'll get paid, not necessarily because they know they're going to win another championship. It is a business at the end of the day.
Yeah, but it's the Lakers at the end of the day. They're going to get somebody else.
You think so? Who would go there?
Maybe not. First of all, they got AD, but they're going to get somebody else. Somebody's going to go
D-Book?
there. A Book. You never know.
I feel like
Edwards could go there in a few years, if they don't win any titles anytime soon.
That'd be crazy.
You know what I mean? People fucking love the Lakers, bro. It's nothing like playing.
Ant Edwards in LA would be different.
Absolutely. So, the Lakers are always going to attract talent. It's
a
place that even when people win championships, they want to win in LA too.
You know what I realized about Devin Booker? He missed out on his superstar window because of how fast the game evolved. He kind of plays like a classic two guard. And I feel like in today's NBA, you can't fill a classic position slot and be a generational or face of the league or MVP type player. If you look at it, you got to fill a lot of gaps. Jokic is a point center. SGA and Ant Edwards. I guess Ant Edwards is a two guard, but he's just different. Wemby, these guys are just different. They don't even play classic position slots like a Devin Booker.
I just think Devin Booker never had a window. I don't think he was that good. He was good. I just don't think he was ever a superstar good.
I think people were trying to get him there, right?
Bro, I don't do we forget about something called winning? Do we forget about that shit? I feel like nobody considers that in the equation.
Well, they got to a point where they were winning.
I don't when the moment Chris Paul got there, a guy who's a winning player. You know what I mean? Like Chris Paul goes anywhere Chris Paul goes except for Golden State where he hasn't really been playing that much. The guy has won.
Besides the championship, but yes.
But got to win. He elevates a team.
He does.
To get them win.
Makes everybody around him better.
The closest shot James Harden ever got to winning a title besides the OKC team when he was coming off the bench was that Chris Paul Houston team. You know what I mean?
Say that again.
The closest shot James Harden ever got to winning a title was, besides the OKC team when he was coming off the bench, was that Chris Paul Houston team.
Yeah.
So Chris Paul is the equation. Wasn't Devin Booker. Devin Booker has been losing he's been not making the playoffs forever. Scoring 70 against the Celtics in a loss, putting up a bunch of buckets and not winning. You got to win to be a superstar. I don't care what type of numbers you're putting up. And his numbers weren't crazy. As great as he is as a scorer, he's not even sniffed a scoring title. And that's his thing. He's a scorer. And he's not even sniffed a scoring title.
Brad Beal, his teammate, got one of them.
Exactly. But for an awful team. Same with Bradley Beal. As good as he was, bro, taking L's. You got to elevate your team. Ant, as good as Ant is, if Minnesota was not good, nobody would be talking about no superstar. Even if he's doing all the shit that he's doing right now. Right? They wouldn't be talking about that. We talking about a superstar because he's elevating his team. He just swept one of the greatest players in the game, talked shit to him, swept the team, and now he's going to second round, and people legitimately think they have a chance against Denver. So that's why we talking about a superstar. So I don't think his window was ever there.
You don't think like when he was younger, people thought he would have a chance to? Nobody thought he would have a chance.
Now I'm not saying like I didn't personally. Maybe some people I'd never even heard about it really. You know what I mean? Like I heard rumblings around the time when he had a 70-point game. Oh yeah, he's coming up. But like
People were saying like, oh, he plays like. People were saying he plays like Kobe.
yeah, people were saying that. But like I mean,
Yeah.
it's a far cry from Kobe because Kobe just plays a whole other side of the ball that allows him to be a much more dominant player. You know, if you put up 25 consistently, but you let up 25 consistently, you're net zero. Like at the end of the day, bro, you know? So like, yeah, I never really saw a superstar window from Devin Booker. And I really didn't hear it too much as myself. Like even Devin Booker is one of those guys that for a while people were saying he was underrated because he wasn't talked about, you know, in the same breath as
All those
top 10 guys, top 15 guys, but I thought that was true. I think that was valid. You know what I mean? Like
that he was underrated.
no, that he wasn't
That he was
at that level.
that he was properly rated.
Yeah, he wasn't at that level. He's just like he's a solid player. But
You know, he came out. I talked about this a little bit last episode, but we could segue to what Barkley said. Like Devin Booker was saying that, you know, it's in the details. You can't throw talent on the court. And I feel like media misconstrued that and made it seem like he was throwing his coach under the bus when he never actually said that. But Barkley actually came out and said that, you know, it's not Vogel's fault, right? It's not Darvin Ham's fault. I believe that to be true, though. Like, I don't really think it lands on either of them.
well, here's the thing, like
First of all, it's everybody's fault, but I don't think they should get the majority of the blame.
yeah, bro, this is a business, man, and like the easiest thing to do is to blame the coach. That's just what it comes down to. Like at the end of the day, the players are your money makers. The players are the ones gonna win, and if a player starts complaining, like the easiest, just like quickest first step is like, let's get a new coach, right? Mentally, you reset as a player. You know what I mean? Thinking like if you had a bad season, oh, there's a level of optimism that, you know, we got somebody new. Who we getting? I'm excited. You know, maybe this dude's going to let me cook the way I want to cook or whatever. You know what I mean? You have that mental excitement, right? But at the end of the day, it's the players, fam. Like Frank Vogel is, you know, he's not the greatest coach, but he's a good coach. You know what I mean? Like
Darvin's a good coach, too. I
Darvin's
think.
a good coach too. Like it's just what it comes down to is like all these, like I think there is no development anymore, right? There's just no like you see all these teams that are good. What's the difference between all of them is they're developed and not manufactured.
Yeah, homegrown talent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like that's what it comes down to. All these teams that are like, we got to just add this person. Like, dog.
You know the only guy. You know the only guy that was successful with just moving around and winning. LeBron. Everybody else they tried to do with all these super teams, they never work.
No, I mean, like, yeah, I mean,
Like he went to Cleveland, he went to Miami, won. Then he went back to Cleveland and won. Then he went
Yeah.
to LA and won.
yeah, I mean, like that LA one,
But usually
They
it doesn't work though.
they won, but man, that LA one, like a lot of things fell in place for them to win that championship. Like he has had a losing record for the Lakers. They missed the playoffs twice, but they did win a championship. So I can't say nothing. But there's a people do say there's an asterisk behind that championship.
That's fine. But I guess LeBron's the only one who made the super teams work.
Yeah, I mean, like, Golden State did.
I guess yeah, but they were already good. You know,
No, but they made it work. You know, at the end of the day, they made it work.
they did. They did. That's true. They
You
did.
know, but I also think that like it's a timing thing too. Like they like the timing was just LeBron had really good timing with all the decisions that he made in his career, right? I think that like
So maybe he was making the right decision.
yeah, they worked out really well. The Cleveland situation was just like such great timing. Going back there,
That was.
Kyrie, Kevin Love, the East was really like had no one like he decimated the Miami Heat.
He made Kyrie better.
You know. All right. But yeah, so I mean, like at the end of the day, bro, like Like, back to what we were saying. What were we talking about?
We talk about a few different things.
I don't know. You went on your LeBron fest. We were talking about something so different, and then you just started
Super teams,
started
coaching.
coaching. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's not. I don't think it's the coach's fault, man. It's like players got to step up. Like people got to stop complaining, man. Like these teams, like.
But my thing is nobody's.
Phoenix sucks. Like they were a bad team from jump, bro. Like they had 3 players that literally shoot nothing but mid-range jump shots.
They shoot a lot of them. They shoot too many of them.
I think they in this playoffs, I don't know if it was the regular season, but in this playoffs they shot the least amount of threes out of any team.
Even if they're making those shots, it doesn't lead to great offense. It only leads to very good offense.
And that's the thing. It's like the problem with mid-range shooting, right, is that it's the most individual type of game there is offensively, right? It does not make anyone better. Even if you shoot nothing but threes, right, at the same exact clip that you shoot mid-range, the fact that you space the floor out by shooting a three-pointer makes it easier for other people. But when you're playing a mid-post, pull-up, mid-range jump shot,
You're basically a clogger.
it's like posting up. It's essentially like posting up on the perimeter. So all 3 of those guys do that.
Yeah, redundancy and skill set. Yeah,
so it's like, and then on top of it, all season these motherfuckers had not one point guard. The only point guard they had all season was Isaiah Thomas that they signed fucking 2 days before the season ended and didn't play the whole fucking playoffs. That's the only point guard they actually had.
Wait, Isaiah Thomas was on the bench during the whole thing?
Yeah, he didn't play.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they could have put him in. I mean, honestly, I felt like they should have put him in.
They lack a point guard.
What?
They lack a point guard.
I'm not even saying like because he is a point guard and he would, be a facilitator, but I think like he could have shaken stuff up. He could have changed something. You know what I mean? Like I think they needed to start experimenting.
At least he's different than those 2.
Absolutely, it's a different look. And the thing about IT, man, he really does create. Like he can. If he's still, I haven't seen him play in a few years. If he can still get to the basket like he used to, he creates opportunities by just getting to the basket. So
yeah, and he knocks down like quick hitting threes.
Yeah, so I think I would have just threw him in just to see what type of adjustments they would make. Like he wasn't there all season, so there's no scouting for him. Like why not throw him in the game? But yeah, he was on the bench the whole time.
JJ Redick, the next coach of the Lakers.
Then he'll get fired next season. Like that's just, bro. I don't understand why anybody takes the Lakers job, bro. They should just let LeBron coach. That's just what it comes down to. Because, bro, you just setting yourself up to be the scapegoat, to get fired.
Maybe LeBron is setting him up to be the next coach by having that pod together.
Fam.
JJ even got the LeBron narrative stuff going on. You heard what JJ said on a pod? He said the Jordan era was watered down because of expansion.
First of all, right? Like,
I kind of disagree with him.
I completely disagree because at the end of the day, bro, like, yes, you have expansion teams, but like those teams weren't making the playoffs. Like at the end of the day, like there's always going to be bad teams, right? Like if you say that they added some players in the NBA that maybe wouldn't have been in the NBA because...
Yeah, but I think the talent pool was deep enough by that point that the talent dip was negligible.
Exactly. It's not even relevant to Michael Jordan because he's not even seeing them. You still have to play the top tier. It's not like...
I don't think the level got worse because of that.
I disagree, but like...
He's just supporting his podcast partner.
Bro, that's the thing. It's all people. This is why people think I'm crazy because I don't fall into all of these narratives, man.
Nah, I mean that statement's ridiculous. But I mean, at the same time, every generation gets better. But I don't think it watered down the NBA for that time period.
Yeah, and I mean, I think every generation gets more skilled. I'll give you that.
More athletic too.
Yeah, and more athletic. But I don't necessarily think that also equates to being better. You know, but I do think that they're definitely more skilled and athletic. You know.
Yeah.
I just but I think when you're more skilled in athletics, sometimes there's mental stuff that you lack because you're ahead in a specific way. You don't develop the grit, you don't do as much grit, you don't develop as much craftiness. I think like that's what one thing about a lot of these younger great players, they're not as crafty, they don't have the same.
They're more robotic.
I agree with that, but they also don't have the same resilience. You know what I mean? Like sometimes,
But there was players. But wait a second, we can't romanticize back in the day because there was players with no resilience back then. That just they were super talented. They just
I guess the superstars, I would say. You know what I mean? Like everyone, obviously, there's always going to be certain tiers of players.
So you think the superstars of yesteryear were more resilient than the superstars of today?
I do. I think that often in the past, I've said this before, I think too. In the past, like you would have that team that lost to a team, right? And they would grow and develop to beat the team that they were losing to. Prime example, Michael Jordan, Detroit Pistons, right? I think there's a certain level of greatness that you feel for the Bulls because they went through their nemesis. Now you can't beat a team. Oh well, I gotta leave. I gotta go somewhere else. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, you should or I gotta lose some games so we can avoid them.
Or we gotta change the coach.
Or it's like, bro, if somebody's beat me, I want to see them. That's who I want. Like I ain't seen. I'm looking past everybody else. I want to beat the team that beat me. But I think that's just from a team standpoint. I also think it's like breaks down to the individual standpoint. I don't want to cover this person. Let's switch. I don't want this person to cover me. Let's get him in the pick and roll. Let's constantly switch. I want to show people that I'm better than them. You know what I mean? Obviously to a certain extent, you know what I mean? If there's a more favorable matchup, absolutely. But it's like people are constantly ducking people. They don't want to cover this person. They don't want to do this. You know what I mean? They don't want to go against this person. They have this person flew. That person flew. Like
Combo flew.
Exactly.
I want to get to some rapid fires because I think it'll create conversation. Did you bring anybody?
Yeah, but I ended up saying a lot of mine.
Saying them already?
A couple of them or two or three.
Anyway, I'll go first. I have a lot.
Okay.
Trey or Brunson?
Trey Young or Jalen Brunson? I think Jalen Brunson is better.
Barkley or KD all time?
Barkley or KD all time? I don't know. That's tough because I think Barkley's better, but I think KD got more out of his career. Like if Barkley had the work ethic of KD, it'd be a million times better. So I'd probably.
I mean, yeah, you can say that about anybody though. That's the biggest excuse in basketball. If this guy had more work ethic than that guy.
It's not an excuse. That's just a thing. There's certain people that
but that's what makes players great.
Yeah, there's just certain people that just go harder. You know what I mean?
So you got KD.
What you say or? So what does that mean? Better? What are you saying? What's the specific?
I said Barkley or KD all time. Like you interpret it the way you want to.
Okay, so on the list, I would say it's got to be KD.
Kidd or Iverson?
No.
Oh, you're not even done with the last one.
Yeah, I guess I would say KD, but it's really close.
See, I only ask the good questions. Kidd or Iverson?
Kidd or Iverson? It's Kidd.
I agree. Nash or Kidd?
It's Kidd. Still.
Nike or Adidas?
It's Nike.
17 Warriors or 96 Bulls? I think 17 Warriors beat them in a 7-game series. 96 Bulls were tough. You know what makes them so tough that nobody talks about? They had Tony Kukoc and Ron Harper, who were super underrated.
Yeah, I honestly, I really, man, that's so tough, man. Okay, what era are they playing? Like
Exactly in between. What year is that?
like 2006 or something.
Yeah, it'd be Warriors. Warriors would win. Because 2006,
Yeah,
it wasn't that physical, you know?
Yeah, like what rules? Like if it's 96 rules, like it's 100% the Bulls.
But they weren't even guarding people out to the three-point line. Like, they would have to get used to playing against the Warriors.
Doesn't matter. They could hand check. Like Steph Curry ain't moving like that with a hand check.
Steph
bro.
Curry would cook them no matter what.
I'm telling you, he's just the thing about it is like back in the day, you couldn't run through the lane without getting hit. So it's just different. Like
Yeah, well, that's also partly because there was less spacing. I mean, the Warriors would still have spacing, you know?
maybe I don't know. It's tough. If it's modern basketball, absolutely. The Warriors.
But I think, like, the Warriors would stretch them out where it would become more modern. Like, modern is not only because of the rules, it's because of the skill sets of the players.
I agree, but at the same time, like the Bulls also could slow down the game because of the way they play. Like I don't know. I mean, it's tough, man. That's a very, very tough series because on one end, like the Bulls were so efficient. Like that's one thing. Like the Bulls were super efficient. Like Michael Jordan, people don't understand how efficient Michael Jordan was. Dude shot 50%, bro. Like,
Yeah, he was so good in the mid-range.
bro, he was so efficient, bro.
Yeah.
And yeah, your whole defense changed to cover him, you know? And I don't know. I don't know. That would be a great chess match. I really don't know. And
You got to pick one, though.
like I said, if it depends on the rules. If I don't know what
06.
2006. I don't know what 06 is.
All right.
I don't even
They
know.
play a game, man.
Yeah, then
Come
if
on,
it's
man.
06 is modern basically. So like that would be basic. Then it would be them. It would be Golden State.
I think Golden State wins no matter what.
No, if it was,
Because I still think it looks like a modern game with the old rules, even.
if it was 96, I think the Bulls have them. You know.
Okay. Sopranos or The Wire?
I didn't watch either one of them, honestly.
Really?
Yeah. Didn't watch The Sopranos. Like by the time I cared about watching them, you're talking about 23, 25 episode series, 1 hour. Like it's a lot to watch.
It is
it's
a lot.
huge
But
commitment.
I played overseas, so I was watching.
So
That's when I watched them.
yeah. By the time, like I started The Wire a couple times, and you know they say you got to get through the first season so that
You just couldn't do it.
It's solid, but I just haven't caught on yet. And
Third season's the best season.
I just don't have like that much. Like it's 25 episodes.
Did you see Oz?
No, I didn't see Oz either.
Okay.
Yeah. Like there was this, when those shows came out, I had just started my filmmaking career, but I was like on the field all the time. So I was like never home.
That was basically like your internship phase. in a
yeah,
way?
I was like never home. I was
What
like,
those beginning years look like for you? Not to get too far off topic.
just a lot of production assistants on sets
Gotcha.
for multiple feature films that were like 30 days. So just on set for 30 days straight, you know, back to back, come home, do 2-3 music videos over the course of like a few days for some rappers, then go back on set, then, you know, come back, edit them. I just was on the move all the time. I just moved to New York. So yeah, I was struggling financially, but I also didn't have a TV. That's another thing. Like I just had my computer because I was, you know, living with roommates. You know, we didn't have the living room was basically like nobody was.
How are your roommates? You got along with them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just it was more of transactional. Like I didn't,
Gotcha.
like we were all super busy people, so it wasn't like we
Gotcha.
hung out and stuff like that.
Got you.
But yeah, so right around that time, I really wasn't watching anything.
Okay.
So and by the time like I got onto that shit, like when people's like, "Oh, you got to watch it," it just became so much of a commitment. Like,
It is a commitment.
it's like it just. I think people's lives were different at the time. There wasn't as much content to watch. We can't. That's why no series are that long anymore. Series are 30 minutes, 30 to 40 minutes.
That's why songs are shorter.
Eight episodes, maybe 10 episodes max. You can't do that anymore. You can't commit 25 hours of your life like that. You know what I mean? Like that's a whole day of watching TV.
That's crazy.
All
right, a couple personal basketball questions. Have you been dunked on more or dunked on somebody else more?
I've dunked on people more, but I have been dunked on. I'll tell you that. But I've been more of the dunker. I was a pretty good shot blocker for a guard. So I would always go up. So I got dunked on, but I think I surprised a lot of people. And I had good hand-eye coordination. I could make people miss dunks often. You know what I mean? Like by tipping the ball or whatever. But I got dunked on by LeBron.
So you think?
So I think it was LeBron. So it felt like LeBron.
Would you rather drop 30 and lose or drop 1 and win?
1 and 1. Yeah.
Most underrated player in the NBA.
Losing so much. Underrated player in the NBA. Currently.
I go with Naz Reid.
I mean, is he that underrated now? He's just won most improved player. So there's the level of rating right there.
It's true. It's fair.
Most underrated player in the league right now, in my opinion, is
Jaden McDaniels.
I could say that. Jaden McDaniels. Who I gotta let me go back to this. Do you have
All right.
another one?
Yeah. Best defender in the NBA.
Best defender in the NBA is best defender or best defensive player?
Tell me the difference.
I think best defender is an individual thing, and best defensive player is impact.
Okay.
I think you can be a great defender.
I said the best defender. That's the question.
Best defender is probably Ant. When Ant is, I've been watching him this when he is engaged, like, and he wants to shut somebody down. I think he truly has the ability to do it in stretches. So his peak is probably the highest individual.
I don't think he's better than Matisse Thybulle.
Well, okay, that's your opinion.
Yeah. All right, your turn. You got.
I only had 5. So.
That's fine.
But I think a few of them were already answered.
Answered by you or answered by me?
No, by you. I asked you them.
We can go again.
LeBron, your boy. So, who do you think is the most overrated player in the league?
Oh, that's a good one. You actually had that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So we were on the same wavelength. The most overrated player in the NBA is Jason Tatum. Do you agree?
No. But
Okay.
I think he's overrated, I think, but I don't think he's the most.
Who's the most?
I don't know. Probably Paul George. Yeah, the other question was, why couldn't LeBron make his teammates better?
Oh, man.
I mean, I didn't really fully ask this, but like, what percentage do you blame LeBron for blowing 4 leads?
Very little.
Very little.
Very little.
Not his fault at all.
I mean, it's everybody's fault because he's on the team, but he's not one of the main guys. He played great. AD played great. I don't think it was really their fault.
Man, as a leader, 4 leads? You're the leader. Like, I mean, it's one thing to play great, you know, it's another thing to lead a team to victory. You know what I mean? That plays a part. He's the leader of the NBA, leader of of that team. Like, if the guy that you follow, that's our guy, you lead us here, can't figure out a way to not blow 4 big leads. I think that's
Jordan was the leader of the Wizards, right? At the same age.
No, Jordan wasn't leader of the Wizards at that point. Nope.
Who was the leader? Brendan Haywood.
Who was the coach? Because it was I forget the coach who it was, but Jordan just basically came. He was the owner. He came down. He wasn't playing like that. The team was already established, and Jordan just came in and was like, "All right, I'm gonna show y'all how to win."
Okay. Last one.
No, 2 more.
Oh, good.
Do you think Michael Jordan's overrated?
No.
Well, he's rated the best player in the world. Most people consider that. So, do you think he's overrated?
I don't think he's the best player ever, but I think
I guess you think he's overrated then.
No, I think that if you have him the best player in the world, you're underrating LeBron. How about that?
Well, that means you're overrating Michael Jordan. You can't, you know? See,
No, it
that's
means
the problem. You don't understand the meaning of overrated. If the consensus
Teach me. Tell me.
If the consensus is rating number 1 is Michael Jordan is number 1. That is the consensus. Most people rate him number 1. If you look at every single poll, every single thing, yes, people
Michael
rate
as an
Jordan.
individual by himself, I think people don't overrate him.
Well, if he's rated general consensus,
it doesn't have to be compared to anybody. Just Michael Jordan as an individual.
Well, the general consensus is Michael Jordan is the best player ever. That's the general consensus. Like, that doesn't mean everyone believes that, but the general consensus.
Yes, I think if you believe that, you're underrating LeBron.
That means you must be overrating.
No, it's not
Michael.
true. Think about it.
So Michael is rated number 2 to you, right? In your mind.
I'm talking about Michael as an individual basketball player, right? Not comparing him to anybody else. Not in terms of rating compared to other players who played basketball in the past. I'm talking about how great Michael Jordan is. Michael Jordan, just Michael Jordan.
But then rating is different because like when we rate somebody, right? I guess our definition of rating is different because when you rate somebody, you rank them as well too. You know, like
no, that's ranking.
But like rating is like
this is a philosophical question, by the way.
At the end of the day, like if you rate someone as the greatest, right?
I think if you rate him as the greatest, you're underrating LeBron. But I don't think Michael Jordan is overrated.
Well, but
we're going to keep going in circles because I said it.
By definition, that means Jordan is rated less than LeBron.
Yes, but I think Michael Jordan is appreciated as a basketball properly. I'm not talking about him compared to anybody else.
Well,
like we could have a conversation where we don't compare him to anybody. We could have that. It's possible. I know you don't believe it, but I'm just talking about the appreciation of Michael Jordan. I don't believe he's underrated or overrated. I believe he's properly rated.
Yeah, so I mean I agree with that. Independent, but I think when most people rate people, we don't rate them independently. We rate them.
We could appreciate.
We rate them compared to their contemporaries. You know what I mean?
That's how you do it.
That's how most people do it. like at the end of the day, it's like, you know, this is a sport. This is a competition. So the way to measure people is to compare them to their peers. You know, that's how we know people are good. If Michael Jordan was just shooting in a gym by himself and LeBron James was just shooting in a gym by themselves, how could you properly understand who's better than who? You know what I mean?
It's not like
you know?
that. No.
Okay, so let's say
somebody
how we compare Michael Jordan to LeBron is by their numbers against each other, their statistics against each other. That's how we rate people. You know what I mean? Like, we don't just.
I explained it to you already, though. Like,
we don't.
It's not. No matter what you say, it's not going to change.
Okay, so how would you rate LeBron versus Jordan then?
What I'm saying
Like
is,
you asked me a bunch
what
of
what I'm
people,
saying is,
this person
what
or
I'm
that
saying is, if you have Michael Jordan number one, you're underrating LeBron. But I don't think anybody's overrating Jordan because I'm not comparing him just to one player. I'm just saying like him as a basketball player. Him as a basketball player. That's it.
Okay, so if you have LeBron as number one, that means you're underrating Jordan. Is that what you're saying?
If you have LeBron, what do you mean? I have to think about
You
that.
you just said if you have Michael Jordan as number one, you're underrating LeBron. So that means if you have LeBron as number one, you're underrating Michael Jordan?
No. He's properly rated. He's properly rated at 2.
That doesn't make any sense.
How doesn't it make sense?
You just said if you rate LeBron, if you rate
I am
Michael Jordan as
no.
number
I'm
one-
talking. I'm talking about Michael Jordan as an individual. Stop talking about other people.
No.
I don't care about nobody else. Michael Jordan is appreciated the way he should be. He's not underrated or overrated. Not compared to anybody else, bro. I'm not comparing him to anybody else. I'm saying him as individual basketball talent. Like I'm saying, like
Okay.
just him as a talent.
But you're saying LeBron's underrated.
I'm saying if you start doing the rankings, if you bring it to the rankings, and
You just said LeBron was underrated.
no. You said if Michael Jordan is ranked number one, then LeBron is underrated. Yeah, then you're underrating LeBron
Okay, so
because then we have a marker.
on the opposite end of the spectrum, if you rank LeBron,
No, but we're not talking about ranking. We're talking about rating.
You just talked about ranking though.
What do you mean?
You just said if LeBron's ranked number one, if Michael Jordan's ranked number one, LeBron's underrated. You just said that. Okay.
But
So
I think
hypothetically,
we're
if-
properly appreciating Michael Jordan as a basketball player, no matter where you rank LeBron.
So hypothetically, then on the opposite end of the spectrum, if somebody rated Michael Jordan LeBron James is number one, is that like you don't, but at that point,
I think Michael Jordan is properly appreciated as a basketball player. I don't think he's underrated or overrated. I'm not talking about him compared to anybody else. I'm talking about the appreciation of his greatness as a basketball
Okay,
player.
so on a ranking standpoint, then what do you think?
In consensus,
Yeah.
like.
Because like you might think that way,
Well,
but
at
most
the end
people,
of the day, I think Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player ever, and Michael Jordan is number 2. So, like, what's the question?
So from that would say, from a ranking standpoint, then you think he's overrated.
Michael Jordan?
Yeah, from a ranking standpoint, you just said it based off of your definition.
I guess from a ranking standpoint, I don't believe he's better than Michael Jordan. No, but I don't think his greatness is overrated. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, but that's what I wasn't asking that.
Yeah. In terms of ranking,
Yeah, you believe he's overrated.
I don't know. I just think a lot of people. I think that people have different opinions on it. Like I don't know if it's as consensus as you think. That's what I'm saying.
Well, if you look online, it is. If you look online,
Online's not everything.
If you ask most people think Michael Jordan is number one. There are polls every single where. Not saying like LeBron. I think he's
Also,
33.
LeBron's
I think LeBron's like 33%, 32%.
LeBron's career is not finished.
You're right, but so far, like most people consider Michael Jordan to be the greatest player. I think like 60-something percent, 62%.
Okay, so it's pretty close.
Like
It's in the middle.
and 60 double. He's double. That's not close.
60%?
Yeah.
Is double?
Yeah, 60% people think Michael Jordan is the greatest.
How's
player
that
ever.
double? That's almost 50-50.
No, but LeBron, like, there's other people like Kobe's like 10 or something like that. LeBron's like 30 or something like that. He's like, yeah.
Oh.
Kobe's
Yeah, I
like,
mean,
Kobe's like 5.
Yeah, I
or,
think
like,
it
some
has
other
to-
people.
yeah, I don't
Kareem
know.
Abdul-Jabbar is like 5, and then LeBron is is like 30 or something like that.
I mean, to me, the conversation is with Mike and LeBron. So I don't.
Well-
I don't know what the internet is saying. Then I don't.
Yeah, so I mean,
I don't think Kareem. I think Kareem is solid at 3. You know.
yeah,
That's my opinion.
Yeah,
though.
some people think Kareem's the greatest of all time. There's like, I think 5% of people think that. There's like
Yeah,
another like 4% that think like Kobe's
Kareem was.
the
I think Kareem was
greatest.
so great. I think what separates like Jordan and LeBron from him is like they initiated offense. I think that matters.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, because like somebody had to get Kareem
yeah,
the
but
basketball.
that's
Also,
a
they were.
different time. Like
Yeah.
that was the
I mean, it wasn't that. It wasn't. You know, Kareem and Michael Jordan weren't that separated in terms of time. Like from Jordan's rookie,
yeah.
actually Kareem's. When did Kareem retire?
Kareem retired in the 80s, bro.
I know, and Michael Jordan started in the 80s.
Yeah, Michael Jordan started in 84.
Yeah. So you act like it's some crazy different era.
I mean, Kareem played 20 years, fam. You know that, right?
I know, but
So,
Michael.
Kareem
I know.
started
But
in
Michael,
the early 70s
but
when Michael Jordan was
when Kareem was winning
a 12-year-old.
But listen though, when Kareem was winning championships with the Lakers, it was a similar era to the beginning of Michael Jordan's career.
No, I mean
100%.
like they won a championship right around like the end of
Yeah. So
like the beginning of Michael Jordan.
So you said it's a
But
different era.
It's a different era.
They both played in the 80s solidly.
It's a different era. Like that wasn't even really Kareem prime.
He was
Kareem,
winning
you know what I mean?
championships as the second best guy.
I mean, he wasn't winning Finals MVP. I'll tell you that.
No, he wasn't.
You know, and
Yeah, well, that's what I think. That's why I separate
yeah,
Jordan
he
and LeBron
wasn't.
from
No,
him.
he. They didn't win a championship when Jordan was in the league. I think they won one. They won it before Jordan.
But it was
came
like
in the league.
it was those.
It was the Birds teams, and then the Birds teams won it in the 80s when Jordan was playing, and then it was what do you call it? It was the Pistons.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, definitely. Pistons won 2 in a row.
Yeah. So, but and then it was those Bird teams.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. Well, that was good stuff.
Oh, I didn't even get my last question.
Oh yeah. I want to hear more. I wish you had 5 more, but go ahead.
If Michael Jordan had LeBron's 4-10 finals record and LeBron had Michael Jordan's 6-0 finals record, do you think that changes the position of how we think about each player?
If was a fifth, I'd be drunk.
Okay, so are you gonna answer the question or are you gonna rap?
I mean, so there's.
The fuck?
So wait. So if they had opposite finals, you would have to change everything about their career, though.
Well, no. I'm just saying that like just those numbers, right? Like people utilize LeBron's 10 championships, 10 finals runs that he went to as like an impressive state. You know, like wow, that's really impressive.
It's tough.
Like he went to 10 finals in a row, or I don't know, not 10 in a row, 8 in a row.
But you'd have to totally change like the fabric of their career around. It's a tough question to answer, to be honest. Like they would be flip-flop of each other. I don't know.
What do you think? Do you think Jordan's the GOAT in that situation? You know,
That if he makes 5,
if he's 4-10 in the finals.
I mean, I think that's really impressive if he would have like made the finals some of those years that like he lost the first round into the Celtics, right? I think that would have been better than him losing in the first round, but both of them are great.
How does that change his legacy? How does that change their legacy? Like LeBron's 6-0. Went to the finals 6 times. You know?
But he doesn't get their 10. He doesn't.
Yeah, but won 6-0, no finals losses. I mean, no game 7, no finals losses.
I don't know.
No
But
game 7.
The rest of the stat, but like I kind of like appreciate the way LeBron plays better. So yeah, I would think LeBron is the GOAT. Like because I like those guys who make everybody around them better. Like I like those type of players. I feel like he's a better rebounder. I feel like he's a better passer. I feel like he's bigger, faster, stronger. I kind of just think he's a better basketball player.
But do you think it would elevate him or be the same? Like
if he didn't get to 10,
if he didn't get to 10, but he won 6-0, is that more impressive? Less impressive? Does that make you feel less about Michael Jordan's career?
Well, I would kind of just look at the player they were, and I like the way LeBron plays basketball a little bit better than MJ, but MJ was great too, man. They're both great.
That was a really political answer.
How is it political?
Because you just like, I love the way they play basketball. They're both great. That's what you just said. Is that not a political answer or not?
If you take away their resume, they're not the player that they are. So
that's an answer. That's an actual answer. You know? So like, are they worse? Are they better? What do you think? Like that's what I'm trying to get.
But then it actually
You're just like, oh, I like them.
But
still.
but it's like
great, good guys.
No, but it actually changes. Like it's not them anymore. So
that's an answer. That's the definition of an answer. That's what I was looking for.
Okay.
Right? Like, so what does it change? Like, how does it change? How do you feel about them? Do you feel different? Like, what do you feel different about them? Do you feel like they're less of a player? Do you feel they're more elevated? Like, these are the nuances.
I'll give you this. I think if LeBron wins 6 championships, he'd be even more elevated. Yes. I agree that. Yeah.
If he won 6-0 straight.
I don't know. Then you take away.
That's what I mean. No,
but then
not
you
just 6 championships.
Yeah,
like,
but I don't know. But then
way-
it's tough because I like the idea of him dragging those teams to the finals that had no, they didn't belong there. So,
How do you think? So that's your opinion. How do you think he'd be received? Though?
well, I mean, some people have him as the GOAT now. I don't know what people think he's the greatest now. It'd be 50-50, I guess. I don't know how he'd be received, to be honest. Like, I don't know everything.
So you think he'd be elevated?
If he won 6 championships instead of 4, yeah. But I don't like the idea that he didn't go all those years. I think that's pretty cool too. But definitely winning championships. I mean, Michael Jordan obviously has the edge when it comes to how many championships he won. There's no doubt about that.
Definitely does. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And half the time.
Yeah.
Half the time.
But good stuff, man. Another episode of He's With Us. See you soon.